Good morning, everybody. I'm making a video to go along with my post for Toronto. So super fun. I'm super excited to go out there for personal reasons as well as professional. I have a really great friend that I met there almost a year ago now. Well, it's just a bit over a year. So we had our anniversary last week of our friendship, and it's been a really great friendship. It's just one of those people you meet, you've known them before somehow, that you just go deep right away with them. And her name is Farah, so I'm super excited to hang out with her, and I work a little bit while I'm there. So I always highly productive, highly conscientious. So I do have a hard time doing something that's just fun, I guess. I do it every once in a while because I know I'm that way, but I'm even happier and more in my truth when I can be productive. And so doing some work as well as having some fun makes me feel better. Everybody has their own ways of being, and I really want to know that I embrace everybody's ways. I try to work on constantly and be non-judgmental, and it's a constant process. There's days I'm really bad at it, and if you ever happen to be riding with me when I'm driving in the city, you'll know for a fact that I definitely have moments of high judgment. But the work that I do, that I wanted to explain about what's happening in Toronto, is I do body work, which is great, but it's a big ask. When I ask you to get on the table to do body work, that's going to be some hardcore deep digging, because we're hitting your physical. We're going in and finding those physical knots that relate to what's going on in your body's emotional field and mental field, where you've trapped patterns of belief, of less, of lack, of hurt, of emotion, and mentally attached meaning to all of that. And so when I go in to do that body work, I am releasing that. There is a channeling that goes on during my session, so you're going to have to be aware of that. There is, touch is sensual no matter what. So this is, I really want to be clear that it's never inappropriate. It's always a discussion as to what you're there for and what you're looking for. But activating that second chakra, that sacral chakra, is where a lot of us at this point in time are holding a lot of our old stuff. So when I start to release that, that's sex, money, relationships. We're going to have conversations on those particular topics, that 3 out of the 4 that most people don't want to talk about. And the 4th is religion, which the sessions aren't religious, in that most people attach meaning to religion as being judgmental or having rules. But for me, it's the spirituality and the connection of the heart and the soul energy. So it's amazing. So I don't know if you can see up above, I have the chakra system, which is what your body's energy system is made out of, separate from your physical system, but it integrates and works with it. And the green that you see up above is the heart chakra. There's a mandala for it. That's what it looks like sacred geometry wise. But I love that it's right above my head, and the work that I do is very heart centered. The heart is the gateway between the upper and the lower worlds, the figure 8 of infinity that says as above, so below. All that stuff is all part of that. It all comes in, and so when we do those 2-hour body sessions, sometimes they're a little more, sometimes a little less, and then we just work on energy. I'm going to spend at least 2 hours with you no matter what. But facing your stuff, hard work. And so I commend those people who come to see me. It takes immense courage to start to face the stuff that's been holding us back, the anchors that have kept us from being what we want to be and feeling that freedom and that connection to spirit so wholeheartedly. And yeah, so I just super love that people have that courage to come get on my table. Super excited to work with you when you are, but I can appreciate that that's a lot. And that's not for everybody, and it's certainly not a daily event for anybody. But I also have sort of a let's get started session, and that's 1-hour sessions, and we don't do body work. We do allow you to lay on the table, because I feel that there's different rules about energy and how it flows, and when we stand, we tend to be able to be stubborn. We sit more in a particle than a wave when we're standing, when we talk about quantum physics. And when we're laying down, we're not as submissive. We're in surrender, though. We're much more likely to take in new information, new ideas, and it's not about brainwashing. It's simply about brain opening and allowing and getting you out of your stuck patterns of behavior and beliefs and expectations, because all of those will hold you back for sure. So how do you get a handle on that? And for me, there is patterns of behavior that I work with. It's definitely an element of psychology. But there is more. There is spiritual. There is your soul's energy. And I believe that we all have this inner knowing, this higher self that we work with all the time. And sometimes we're great at listening to it, and sometimes we're not, myself included. But what happens is I'm very much a bridge of communication and a channel for that energy to come through. And when we talk, the stories that you choose to share or tell are very telling, in that we may have all gone through that, but some of us are holding on to it and some of us are not. You might not realize, you think, I don't know what my problems are, but someone like me who has an energy to pull out of you the truth, people time and time again say, I can't believe I'm telling you this stuff. I never tell people this stuff. And that is just the intention and the energy of the session that I have. And I don't do it to manipulate you at all, but just to shine the light on it. And so again, I'm not coming as a healer with judgment. I'm coming with love. And when we come with love, we just open up to more love. And love feels amazing. Love is a really high vibrational energy. Well, the highest. And that's where we want to be. And we could live our lives in love all the time. And some people say, well, that's fairy tales and unicorns and rainbows. You're right. It can be. In the third dimension, it's really hard to manifest that reality all the time. But glimpses of it, or moments of being in that space or that vibration, is very, very powerful. In that, someone can spend an hour on my table or 2 hours with me if that's the session we have. And they can tell me that easily affected them for like 2 months after, a month after, sometimes people say 6 months. And it fills you up. Just spending even a moment in authenticity and surrender, and allowing yourself to shift out of your beta waves and into your higher brain waves, gamma, theta, whatnot. That's a lot of science stuff that we can discuss or not discuss as you wish when we do sessions. But that shift is healing. It actually physically heals, scientifically proven, physically heals parts of your body, like your genetics, your epigenetics, your DNA, telomeres at the end of them. They shift and change, and they start growing. And when they grow, you're not going to have that expression of disease that's in your genetics and your ancestry. So there's so many elements to what I do, and everybody sort of out there in this field is aware of it and knows it, and some specialize more in one, or that they feel a calling. And my calling is to clear out your chakras, or make awareness of the chakras and how they're working and what you're doing, and how they're limiting you in the everyday world. And for those of you, and I get to work, and I'm so blessed, but I get to work with some high-level healers. And when I am working on the table with them, our sessions are different for sure, because I don't have to clear through a lot of the initial belief systems. And so we can just dive right in and go deep. So that work is very valuable too. And if you're one of those healers who's wondering why you're stuck and not going to the next level, I'm happy to work with you. I keep it on the down low a lot in my hometown. I love you guys all, but it's like when I'm home, I kind of just want to relax and do my own stuff. And I do still see clients when I'm home. I'm always available for the work, because I think if your soul's calling you, fabulous. I'm here too, because we're all one. And that's not just rainbows and unicorns. In the field of energy and quantum possibility, we know that our vibrations and our frequencies, we all influence each other. So mass fear, like with what happened with COVID and the pandemic, I know I'm not a conspiracy nut, but I can definitely see certain patterns of behavior. And in what world do you think the government is actually caring for you? I don't know. But I know that there's individual people there who care, but as a mass institution, it doesn't care. So don't imagine that they're doing things for your best interest at all. But anyhow, off of that topic, you see patterns of behavior and stuff. And when I'm home, I guess I just love to just hang out with people and be more my third dimensional self than my higher dimensional self. But when I'm on the road, I'm definitely busy and getting to meet a lot of really special, wonderful people time and time again. I have a lot of repeat clientele. We definitely work through some of the ways, and I'm happy to discuss that with you on a deeper level. I'm happy to answer any questions at any time about the sessions before you ever get here. I want you to feel that you're ready to be on my table and that you want to be here. I never want to convince anybody or sales it to them. I really just am in the business of booking appointments. I set up my ads and whatnot, and people just are ready when they message me that this is what they want to do. So yay. Totally. When I made that shift, my business went from never paying me to paying me like a ridiculous, lovely, lovely, lovely amount of money. So super grateful for that. Super grateful for that shift. I can help you make your shifts. And the work in Toronto, I'm doing this one day of 1 hour sessions, which I hardly ever do anymore. I really just stick to the 2 hour sessions of work because I want to do deep work, and that makes me happy. And I only have so much time here on Earth, and doing that deep work is, if I only have so much time, I'd rather be doing that. But I appreciate, as I mentioned, not everybody's ready for that. And I would like to have this opportunity to reach out to more people. So I am going to be doing these 1 hour sessions. They'll happen every once in a while. Toronto's the first place I'm going to kick them into gear. And they, again, don't involve me touching you. So for me, I can do more of these sessions in a day because it's not as physical. And yeah, I'm super excited. So if you know anybody out there or anybody out there listening from Toronto area, I'll be in the true Toronto area, in the annex area of Bathurst and DuPont. And so I know sometimes city thinking, you're like, oh my God, I have to go across the city, which is all of like 5 kilometers out here. Out here in rural Alberta, we're like, if it's not 50 kilometers, I'm not sure I've gone anywhere. So yeah, there's just that mentality around it. Sometimes location matters, and other people will drive across the country to see me. I just, I love that, and I'm so happy, and I know that that's because I'm connected to the field, and when the calling comes, people come. Yay, 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 yay. But again, reach out, ask your questions. Let's see if we can get you moving forward in life and, more connected to your purpose and more connected to your inner happiness and releasing all the anchors that are holding you back. Love you all. Thank you so much for listening. I know it was a long one.